All right, let's jump into Keep It Open or Close It Out. Before we do, you got to hear from Jim Harbaugh, who's fighting the good fight right now at the podium and on the field.
Reminded of Sir Andrew Barton. Fight on, my men, Sir Andrew said. I'm a little wounded but not slain. I'll lay down and bleed a while, and we'll rise and fight again.
Hell yeah.
That man that took it back
Hell
to
yeah,
social
brother.
study class.
Now, to be fair, Sir Andrew Barton died at 45, so the Chargers may miss the playoffs. He was slain quite early on. He didn't really make it. Didn't make it past 15-11, the big fella.
Good news is for his quarterback, who we're debating to start or sit, he's got a great matchup against the Bucs. Most points per game allowed to quarterbacks this season, Matthew.
Yeah, he really does. So I'm keeping it open. He's my QB 13 this week. I think he is, even though it hasn't shown up in fantasy production the last 2 weeks or so, he's played very, very well. I think he's playing at a high level. They can't run the ball, honestly, and the Buccaneers for the season are bottom 10 in the NFL in terms of most touchdown passes allowed. Pick a stat, and the Buccaneers are bad at it, right? As you sort of reference it. No team's allowed more fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Over the last 4 weeks, they're a bottom 3 pass defense. So I think Herbert gets on track this week as well. Hopefully, Lad McConkey will be back and be McConkulous in this one. So I'm keeping it open on Justin Herbert. I'm at QB 13, so borderline QB1. He's on that QB1, QB2 range.
Yes, he is real and he is McConkulous.
Thank you very much. Welcome on board. Yeah, the water's warm. Come on in.
I think the good thing, Lawrence, about Herbert is that even though it wasn't a big fantasy game, he still played really well against the Chiefs, even though he had no one to throw to at all.
Yeah, he did. I wish they'd have taken a little bit more advantage of the middle of the field on that Chiefs defense, but like Matthew said, when you can't run the ball at all, and they haven't been able to do that since they lost J.K. Dobbins, it's tough. Now, the Bucs defense, twice out of their last 3 games, they've allowed less than 210 passing yards. However, those quarterbacks was Tommy DeVito, Aiden O'Connell, and my man, Desmond Ridder. So this is Justin Herbert now. So I expect him, with hopefully McConkey coming back, for him to have a better fantasy day. I'm keeping it open, although there's a couple of quarterbacks, Tua, maybe even Aaron Rodgers, because he playing the Jags, that I might take over him this week. But because of the matchup, you got to like Herbert this week from a fantasy perspective.
By the way, and keep in mind, he not only didn't have McConkey on Sunday night, but he also lost Will Dissly, before the end of the first half. So just again, there wasn't anything there. But yeah, they're not gonna be able to run the ball. I also think, by the way, Baker will have a good game against the Chargers. So I think game script here should work. The over/under is 45.5, but the Chargers are 18th against the pass over the last 4 weeks. So I do think both teams will be able to move the ball here. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.